what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo!
Molly, how about your folks who save hundreds of dollars?
There you go, boys and girls. What is today? It is Wednesday. It is hump day. Welcome to math. All right, so here we are, Wednesday, May 5th. Not for me. For me, it is 7:02 at night on April 29th. Today is actually my daughter's birthday. Not my daughter. My sister's birthday, the 29th, not the 6th. All right, so remember, do your DMP. Okay, guys, we are using all kinds. Oh, there's my finger. How long did it take? 54 seconds. We are using all kinds of skills when we are using measurement. We are doing 7 different word problems today, and those word problems is addition of fractions, it is multiplication, it is 2-digit division, it is long division, it is long multiplication, it is adding and subtracting decimals. All of those things that we do all the time and we've always practiced in our DMP is on today's assignment about measurement. Make sure you are keeping up with your skills, keeping those skills sharp. I just literally cannot say this enough. Okay, so we are going to get started with today. Remember that one of the things you're going to want to refer to often is your conversion chart. When I say conversion chart, I mean your reference chart. So we'll use this quite often today to reference the different conversions from smaller to larger and larger to smaller, metric and customary. Remember that if you were taking the STAR test this year, and you're not, but you will be next year, that you will be able to use this reference materials chart on the STAR test, and we'll be using it today quite a bit as well. All right, so we're going to get started. I'm going to use my, oh, there's my finger again. Lucky you. All right. I'm going to use my markers today. Definitely going to use my markers. Okay. So the page that we are doing today is Thinking Up, page 352, and there are 7 problems to do. All right, and so we are just going to start with number 1. And I'm going to go ahead and do this. So I have that, and there's my reference sheet, and there's that. Okay, here we go. Each student in Miss Sands' class jumps rope for 6 minutes. Okay, that's a really long time to jump rope. Jumps rope for 6 minutes. I might be able to do that like cardiovascularly, like I could jump rope for 6 minutes because I can run for 6 minutes, but I don't think I can jump rope for 6 minutes without tripping over myself. All right, here we go. The students jump a combined total of 2 hours. How many students are in Miss Sands' class? Okay, so trying to figure out how many students are in her class. So we're going to start with the fact that they each go for 6 minutes, but all together is 2 hours. So let's go ahead and convert our 2 hours into minutes, okay? Tell you what, I'm gonna do that. That was not the key. That was the key for yesterday. All right, so let's go ahead and convert our 2 hours into minutes. Let's use the new green. I'm so excited. All right, so hours and minutes. How many minutes are there in 1 hour? Well, that's something that you should know. I don't think we need to look at the reference chart for that. You should know that 1 hour is how many minutes? 60 minutes, okay? So if 1 hour is 60 minutes, then 2 hours must be 120 minutes. So it's a total of 120 minutes that they were jumping rope. Now, they each did it for 6 minutes. So if we want to find out how many minutes or how many students are in that class, then I'm going to divide that number by 6, okay? So if I take 120 and I divide it by 6, all right, like I said, long, that's very dark, and that's got that light way up there. Let's see, I just can't seem to, how's that? Oh, I don't know. Here we go. All right, so how many times will 6 go into 1? 6 cannot go into 1, okay? So how many times will 6 go into 12? 6 will go into 12. 2 times, and now multiply. 2 times 6 is 12, and then subtract, and bring down your 0, okay? How many times will 6 go into 0? It will go 0 times. 0 times 6 is 0, subtract, Nothing to bring down, so now you're done. So your answer would be 20. Okay? So your answer to number 1 is 20. All right. Here we go. Number 2. Kylie went to the store and bought a package of cookies, a candy bar, and a fruit drink. Whew, Kylie, that is a lot of sugar. The table shows the cost of each item. So cookies are $3.50, a candy bar is 75 cents, and a fruit drink is $1. I think she could make much better nutrition choices, but Kylie's not my child, so there we go. If Kylie paid with a $20 bill, how much change did she receive? So we have got to do what? We're going to have to add together what she got, find that total, and subtract it from the $20 bill. Why don't you pause the video and go ahead and give that a shot? Did you pause the video? Did you really pause the video? This is one of those chances that you have to work on your subtraction skills, especially subtraction across the zeros. Okay? So if you didn't pause it, then you need to pause it now. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add together. Here's the new purple. Ooh, I like it. $3.50, 75 cents, and $1. Okay? Adding of decimals. 0, 5, and 0 is 5. 5 plus 7 is 12. There's my decimal. Carry my 1. 3, 4, 5. $5.25 is what she spent. Notice it is an answer choice. Just in case you see, oh, I'm done, because there's my answer. You're not done. We have to figure out what her change is if she gives a $20 bill. So I have to take $20 and subtract $5.25. Okay? So if you should have taken your $20 and subtracted $5.25. Okay? This is one of those skills that I was doing with a student the other day, a different student than the one that forgot multiplication, and they got all confused on what to do here. So this is one of those ones that you really have to practice. Cannot do 0 minus 5, can't borrow from the 0, can't borrow from the 0, borrow from the 2, make it a 1. Now, normally you would say, okay, change that to a 10, and then borrow from that one, change it to a 9, and change that to a 10. It honestly is just easier to go 9, 9, 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 2 is 7. There's our decimal. 9 minus 5 is 4. 1 minus nothing is 1. $14.75 should be your answer. That is letter F. Letter F. Okay. All righty now. Let's see. Here we go. Number 3. Adam's mother bought 5 liters of apple juice to serve at his party. Adam and his 5 guests each drank 675 milliliters of juice. How many milliliters of juice were left? Left. Okay, so 5 liters, and our answer is in milliliters. Let's go ahead and do our conversion, and let's convert 5 liters to milliliters, okay? Hopefully you remember this, but if not, here are your conversions right here. All right, cannot see that, so maybe that's better. Right there, 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters. 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters, okay? So 5 liters, 1 liter would be 1,000, 2, 2,000, 3, 3,000, 4, 4,000, so on and so forth, okay? Let's use the pink for this one. So that means I'm gonna have 5,000 milliliters of apple juice. That's how much she bought, 5,000 milliliters, okay? Adam and his 5 guests each drank 675 milliliters. So I've got Adam and 5 friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many people is that? That is 6. Miss Turney messed up the first time she did this, and I saw 5 guests, and I did times 5. But don't forget Adam. He's the birthday boy. Well, party boy, whatever. So I've got to take 675 and multiply it times Adam and his 5 friends. Multiply it times 6. So if we take 675 and multiply it times 6, what do we get? Pause your video, please, and figure that out. Keep those skills sharp. Are you pausing? Are you pausing? Did you pause? You should be pausing. All right, let's see. 6 times 5. Remember, I'm taking 6 times 5, 6 times 7, 6 times 6. 6 times 5 is 30. Write down my 0. Carry my 3. That almost looks like red. 6 times 7 is 42, 43, 44, 45. Write down my 5. Carry my 4. 6 times 6 is 36 plus 4 makes 40, okay? So this is how much they drink, okay? But the question was asking, okay? And I want you to notice something, okay? Notice that's an answer choice, just in case that is an answer choice. Stopping right there, okay? All right, so that's how much they drank. It's asking how many milliliters were left. Oh, sorry, how many were left? If you start with 5,000 and then they drink this much, how many is left over? So I've got to take 5,000 and subtract that number right there. Okay, pause the video, do that subtraction, and figure it out. All right, here we go. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 5, cannot do it. Can't borrow from the 0, borrow from the 5. Make it a 4. 9 and 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 0 is 9. There's my answer right there. That means there would be 950 milliliters left over. So if they had another friend who came, would they have enough for that person to drink the same amount? Yes, they would. All right. Let's look at number 4. Number 4. Okay. Clay wants to make banners for his school. He needs a yard of blue fabric. He needs 3/4 of a yard of red fabric and 1/4 of a yard of white fabric. Okay, let's see. For one banner, for each banner, that's how much he needs. How many inches of fabric will Clay use to make 8 banners? Okay, so here's a couple things that I'm noticing. I'm noticing that it gives us information in yards, and it's asking us the answer in inches. So I know I'm gonna have to convert these yards to inches. I know that he needs all of this for one banner, and he's actually going to be making 8 banners, okay? All right, so let's start by taking the yards that we have and converting it into inches. So you've got a yard of blue fabric, okay? So 1 yard, can you see that yellow? Oh, that's not too bad. And then 3/4 of a yard of red and 1/4 of a yard of white. Okay, think about this for just a second. If I have 3/4 of a yard of something and 1/4 of a yard of something else, how much is that? If I had 3/4 and I had 1/4, and I want to know how much is that? If I added that together, okay, that would equal 4/4, which equals 1. So that red fabric and that white fabric, those two fractions, it's just 1 whole yard, okay? So it's a yard of blue and then basically another yard, okay, of the other 2 colors. So how many yards does he need just for one? He needs 2 yards, okay, for one banner. 2 yards for one banner. So then now you have a choice. You can go ahead and multiply that times 8 and then convert it to inches, or you could convert that to inches and then multiply times 8. It's really your choice as to what you want to do, okay? So I'll tell you what, you can choose either convert 2 yards to inches and multiply it by 8, or multiply 2 by 8 and then convert that to inches. Go ahead and pause the video and give it a shot. All right, so hopefully you realized that when you try to convert yards to inches, you first have to convert it to feet. First have to convert it to feet, okay? So I'm gonna take my 2 yards and I need to know that 2 yards equals how many inches, okay? Well, before I can figure out how many inches 2 yards is, I have to figure out, okay, how many feet, okay? 2 yards equals how many feet? Well, 1 yard, according to our conversions, equals 3 feet. So 2 yards would be 6 feet. Now I gotta take 6 feet and make it into inches. 1 foot is 12 inches. So 2 feet would be 24 inches and 3 feet would be 36 inches. I'm multiplying times 12. So what is 6 times 12? 6 times 12 is 72. Okay, so 72 inches. Now, here's the thing. You need 72 inches for 1 banner. But notice 72 is an answer choice. But 72 inches is what you need for 1 banner. Okay, because you need 2 yards, and 2 yards is 72 inches. But that's just 1. How many banners are we making? We're making 8. So we have to multiply 72 times what? 72 times 8. All right, so why don't you go ahead and multiply 72 times 8. Work it out for me. Go. All right, 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 7 is 56. 57. 576 inches is what you would need for 8 banners. 8 banners. All right. If you are still listening at this point, I would like for you to put, let's do a blue smiley face. Put a blue smiley face on your answer sheet next to we just did number 4, next to number 4. Blue smiley face next to number 4. If you put a blue smiley face next to number 4 on your answer sheet, whatever slide that happens to be, what slide is that? I think it's slide 11. Next to number 4, put a little blue smiley face, and I'll know that you are watching this video. All right, here we go. Number 5. All right, number 5. Why don't you, I'm going to read it. LeVar purchased drinks for a picnic. He bought 5 gallons of juice, 4 gallons of water, 3 gallons of punch, and 1 gallon of tea. How many pints of liquid did LeVar purchase? Okay, so we've got gallons and we have to convert it to pints. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to let you see if you can work this one out on your own. And I'm going to show you, here's the deal. Okay, 1 gallon is 4 quarts. But that's not what they want us to convert to. They want us to convert to pints. 1 gallon is 4 quarts. 4 quarts, 1 quart is 2 pints. So I first have to figure out how many gallons I have, to figure out how many quarts I have, to figure out how many pints I have. Okay? All right. So my gallons, use blue this time. My gallons, I've got 4, 5, 3, and 1. Okay, that is 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 13 gallons. 13 gallons. But I need it in pints. Before I can do pints, I have to get to quarts. Okay, so 13 gallons equals how many quarts? Well, according to the conversion chart we looked at, 1 gallon is 4 quarts. 1 gallon is 4 quarts. So I've got to take 13 times 4. All right, pause the video, do 13 times 4, and see what your answer is. All right, 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 52 quarts is what 13 gallons is. Okay, do notice that is an answer choice. And I fell for it. Shh, don't tell anybody. I stopped right there. I was not paying attention. I even knew I was doing quarts. I saw the 52, which is pint, and I chose that one, and I moved on, and then I went to go check my answers. I got it wrong. All right, so I need pints. I need pints, okay? This is 52 quarts, okay? If you look at your conversion chart, 1 quart is 2 pints. 1 quart is 2 pints. So we have to figure out 52 quarts equals how many pints? Well, if 1 quart is 2 pints, 2 quarts is 4 pints, 3 quarts is 6 pints, 4 quarts is 8 pints, and so on and forth. What I'm doing is I'm multiplying by what? My rule, I'm multiplying by 2, okay? So if I take 52 times 2, what do I get? Pause the video. No, really. Pause the video. Okay, thank you. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 5 is 10. 52 quarts is 104 pints. And that is letter D. Letter D. All right, and here's the thing, guys. One of the reasons I'm having you pause, I am noticing, I'm starting to get the math in for last week. Okay, let's do a little heart talk here. Here's the thing. Okay, ready? Okay, where am I? There I am. Okay, so I'm starting to get in the math for this week. It's only Wednesday, but I've had a few kids who have turned in the math. And I'm noticing, and there were a lot of problems on this one. There were 2 pages to do, which I thought was a lot for last week. I'm noticing that there's a lot of students who are missing a lot of questions. So I think I've had 6 people turn it in, and 4 of the 6 people who have turned it in, I've sent it back to them to try to look at it again, because they need to redo like 9 of them. There were 16 problems, and they missed 9 of them. And here's my thought on that. Number 1, it was a lot of work. It was like 2 thinking up worksheets, which is a lot. But number 2, I'm wondering, number 1, are they watching the videos? Like really watching them? Or are they pressing play and scrubbing across until they see me choose an answer and then just write it down, and scrub across until they see me choose an answer and then just write it down? You're not learning anything. If you're not watching my videos, it's like walking in the last 10 minutes of class and expecting to know how to do the homework. It's just not possible. So if you're not watching the videos, you're not learning. Number 2, if you are not pausing the videos and really trying to work out the problems on your own, that's when you make your mistakes. You make your mistakes in class while you're teaching. Think about when we were in math and we would learn something, and then we would do some practice problems in your notebook, and then you would do some practice problems with a partner, and then you do some practice problems on your own. And all that time was time for you to make mistakes and me help you, and then I give you the assignment. If you're watching the video and just scrubbing through to get the answers, or if you're not watching the video at all, you're not learning. If you're not pausing the video and doing it on your own, you're not learning. You're just writing down answers. So when you get to the actual assignment on Friday and there are 16 problems and you've missed 9 of those 16, I have to think to myself, okay, why would a student miss that many if they were watching my videos, pausing it and working it out on their own, because that's a lot to miss. And that's kind of what I've noticed this week. So please make sure that you're doing that. Okay, I'm done preaching. Here we go. I feel like I'm preaching. Alrighty. Here we go. Number 6. Miss Delaney needs to move 198 dictionaries to the library. Not Miss Delaney. That is not our librarian's name. Her name is Mrs. Riggs. Okay. Each book has a mass of 2 kilograms. She divides the books into 6 equal stacks. What is the mass in kilograms of each stack? All right, so I'm noticing kilograms, so it doesn't look like we're doing any conversions here, okay? So if she's got 2 kilograms and 198 dictionaries is each one, that means I'm going to be taking 198 and doing what? Multiplying. 198 times 2. All right, go ahead and stop. Pause the video, work it out. Here we go. 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times 9 is 18, plus 1 makes 19. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 makes 3, okay? This is how many kilograms all of those dictionaries weigh, okay? 396. Notice that it's an answer choice, 396. But that's how much all of them weigh. But the question says, if she puts them into 6 equal stacks, what is the mass of each stack? So I've got to take 396 and do what operation? Divide. I have to divide that by the 6 equal stacks. Okay, so if I take 396 and divide it by 6, what do I get? All right, pause and work it out. Okay, let's see. Can I do 3 divided by 6? No, I cannot. So, can I do 39 divided by 6? Yes, I can. 39 divided by 6 is 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 39 minus 36 is 3. And then bring down my 6 for 36. How many times will 6 go into 36? 6 times. 6 times 6 is 36. Subtract. Nothing else to bring down. That is my answer. G, 66 kilograms. All right. Oop, and I literally just threw my sticky pad across the room. I'm loving my new markers. All right, last one. Here's what we're gonna do. I would like for you to try this one on your own. Time is something you're familiar with because we use time. There's no customary and metric of time. So here we go. Justin arrives home from his baseball practice at 6 p.m. He spends 30 minutes eating dinner, 50 minutes completing his homework, an hour and 15 minutes watching TV, and a quarter hour taking a shower and brushing his teeth. When he completes all of these activities, Justin goes to bed. What time is he going to bed? So you need to figure out which way you would like to work this out and figure out what time he's going to bed. So, pausing the video to figure that out. All right, there's a couple of different ways you can do this. Number one, you could add all the time together and put it into minutes and take that number of minutes and basically add it to 6 p.m. to figure out what time he goes to bed. Or you could take 6 p.m. and do 30 minutes and then 50 minutes and then an hour and 15 minutes. So it's kind of up to you the way that you want to do it, okay? Maybe I'll do it both ways. All right, let's start with 6 o'clock, okay? If it is 6 p.m. and he spends 30 minutes eating, okay? Now it is 6:30. and then he spends 50 minutes completing his homework. Now, here's the thing about minutes. 50 minutes, I can't just add 50 minutes to 6:30. Okay? You can't do this. Because there's no such thing as 6:80 o'clock. Okay? So, you have to think of it a little differently. Okay? You have to think of this, okay, broken down because you're starting at 6:30 into 30 minutes and 20 minutes. Because 6:30 plus 30 minutes is now 7 o'clock. And 7 o'clock plus that 20 minutes is now 7:20. So, now we've got an hour and 15 minutes watching TV. Okay, so an hour and 15 minutes watching TV. Can we do that? We can. Okay, so 0 plus 5 is 5. 2 plus 1 is 3. Is now 8:35. Okay, that is a real time. Whereas up here, 6:80 was not a real time, so we had to break that down. But 8:35 is a real time. So now we have a quarter hour taking a shower and brushing his teeth. So a quarter hour. So think about a clock and what a quarter hour would be. This is our clock, okay? So we're breaking it into quarters, into fourths. A quarter hour, this area right here, from here to here, would be how many minutes? 15. Okay, so a quarter hour is 15 minutes. So we're going to add 15 minutes. And that's 10, 4, 5, 8:50 p.m. is what time he goes to bed. All right, that is answer A. But there was another way that you could do this, okay? And either way that you do it would be absolutely fine. The other way that you could do it is you could add all of his time together, okay? So start with his 30 minutes, and then his 50 minutes, and then an hour and 15 minutes. Okay, so an hour is 60, and then 15 minutes, and then a quarter hour brushing his teeth, okay? Add that all together and figure out how many minutes it took him to do all this. Okay, so 5 and 5 is 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10, 16, 17, 170 minutes. Okay, now I can't just take 170 minutes and add that to 6 o'clock. Okay, it doesn't work that way. Okay, I've got to take this 170 minutes and I've got to bring it into, I guess, like hours. Okay, so think of it this way. How many hours are in 170 minutes? Well, I know that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. Okay, there are 60 minutes in 1 hour, so that's at least 1 hour. There's 2 hours would be 120 minutes, right? Okay, so that's at least. All right, so I think I can subtract 120. It gives me 50 minutes left over. So that tells me it took him 2 hours and 50 minutes to do all of the things he needed to do. Okay, now we started at 6 o'clock. So now I can add 2 hours and 50 minutes, and that gives me 8:50 p.m. Either way that you wanted to do that is just fine. Whichever way works best for you. Okay? All right. So your answer for 7 is A. There you go. All right. That's all I got for you today, boys and girls. Hope you had a great Wednesday, and see you later.